Okay, so we're doing Shir Chadash.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Please get in your places. Jeremy and Heather will be up here on the bima with me as service leaders. It's wonderful to be here together on this Shabbat. Those of you that have not RSVP'd to me to go to Alfredo's, please come to Alfredo's after if you can. Please, everyone, remember, it is not the usual Alfredo's. It is the one on PCH and Pennsylvania, because they will give us reservations, and they will give us the whole patio, and they will give us separate checks, which is good for our group, or at least one per table of 4. So please join us. It's always a pleasure to share Shabbat together. Heather and Jeremy are going to come forward and lead us in Hine Matovu Manayim. Stand on his side. Hine Matovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Everybody. Hine Matov Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Woo! Hine Matov Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. We're gonna have a baby. Hine Matov. So exciting. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine Matov Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Thank you, Jeremy and Heather. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. You heard my squeal of delight as I haven't seen these two congregants in a while, and there's a baby coming. It's so exciting in our community, in our congregation. We have 3 youngins in our community that are having babies. Maybe if we keep this up, we can have a preschool again, or at least a religious school again. So anyway, those of you, I'm always at my best at the beginning of life and the end of life. In the middle, we all just sort of hang out together, but if you really know me, that's what you would discover. So, I would like to have Harriet come up and kindle the lights of Shabbat. Please come up, Harriet. We have the 2 candlesticks representing the love of 2 partners of any mix, and also between Am Yisrael and Adonai. Focus on the 2 candles and the flame, which connects to the flame within us. And then prepare to, you'll have the Hebrew on page 131 of Shiru L'Adonai, which is what we'll do that right after. There's not as much air conditioning today. Good job. Yasher Koach. Let's make those 3 circles, bringing order to the chaos in this world, as Harriet leads us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat hug the person next to you or hug yourself and say Shabbat Shalom. Hugs to the musicians, hugs to Harriet. Shabbat Shalom. And we're going to sing Psalm 96, Shiru Ladonai. Sing a new song unto God, a new song, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, of all the world. So we've just come through Passover. This is actually the beginning of our new year. So let us sing Shiru Ladonai. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. One more time. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. Sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. Sing unto God a new song. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Sing a new song unto God. Yasher Koach to everyone. Please turn to page 138 for Lecha Dodi. And let there be light. If you would like to donate and get an Aleph Bet, please do. They channel and manifest different energies in your life. And if you would like to donate and get a tribe, let there be light. And your name will go on that board right over there. And the Torah, oh my goodness. Well, as you can see, it is the beginning of a new year, and we are responsible for kindling light. That is what we are meant to do. We are meant to do it with our prayers. We are meant to do it with our voices, the instrument or the vessel of our being. And we are meant to do it with the actions that we do in our life, and decisions that we make, and how we share. And so, here are our 3 Torah scrolls, and let there be light. Okay. Thank you, immediate past President Diana. There are reasons why certain people become president. Jeremy, pay attention, one day that will be you. Not to mean that it won't be you, Heather, but you'll be busy being a canon. So, there we go. Are we ready to welcome in the Sabbath bride? Lecha Dodi, page 138. Come on, you guys, clap. We're supposed to be joyous, like at a wedding. Lecha lecha dodi, ligrad ligrad kala, tanei tanei Shabbat nekavala. Lecha lecha dodi, ligrad ligrad kala, tanei tanei Shabbat nekavala la 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 lecha dodi, ligrad ligrad kala, tanei tanei Shabbat nekavala. Lecha lecha dodi, ligrad ligrad kala, tanei tanei Shabbat nekavala. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamichad, Adonai echad, U'shamo echad, L'Shem l'tiferet v'lidei la 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 hadodi, Ligrad ligrad kala, Tanei tanei Shabbat nekavala. Lecha lecha dodi, Ligrad ligrad kala, Tanei tanei Shabbat nekavala. Verse 5. Hitoreri, Kiva ora kumi ori, Ari, shield out very, Kevod Adonai, like the la 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 la, Hadodi, Ligrad kala, Adoni, Ligrat, Kala, Pene, Shabbat Acharei. Verse 9. V'oi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha v'sola, t'chemene am segula, v'ichala, Adoni, Ligrat, Kala, Pene, Shabbat Acharei. Adoni, Ligrat, Kala, Pene, Shabbat Acharei. Pene, Shabbat Acharei. Pene, Shabbat Acharei. Please be seated, those of you that are standing. And we are going to move to the Hatzikadosh on page 144. Yikada v'yikada shmei Rabba, ve'alma divrach yiratei v'yamlik machutei, v'chayechon v'yom echon, v'chayechon v'Yisrael, v'agala, v'izman kari v'merach. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach, le'alam u'olmei almaya. Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromom v'yitnasei, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal, shemei d'kedusha brechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiron be'alma v'yimerah. Amen. The Baruch Hu on page 146. Yeah, la la la. Come on, you guys. La la la. We're singing a praise to God. Call to worship. Yeah, la la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. And so now, if you'll continue in your prayer books, let us read the bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change, and within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Think about that. What lies before us? We stand quietly on the border of light, quietly standing, wondering, waiting to find out what lies before us, but willing to be proactive because we understand that change is going to happen. Even if we decide not to change with the tide, that will affect a response as well. So being willing to change and adapt to change, and not being willing and open to change and staying constant could remain stuck. We don't know, but everything that we do, every choice that we make, has a ripple effect. So think about that when I say a few words about the Torah portion later on this evening. Our evening prayer, our Ma'ariv, our evening prayer on page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechochma poteach she'arim, ubitbuna meshaneh itim umachalif et hazmanim, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. ביום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה. ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai Hamari Varavi. And Heather's going to come forward and she's going to sing Ahavat Olam and lead you in the prayer on page 150.
Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down, when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Israel. Ahavat olam, Beit Israel.
Now Heather will lead us in the Shema. If you want to stand, please stand. If you'd like to be seated, be seated. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out.
Shema Israel, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. Yasher Koach. So, when we are here together, we manifest energy in the universe. And our Vea Hafta prayer on page 154, love God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. And that we will take to heart the instructions that we have been given, and we will teach them, recite them, and share them, and the love for Adonai. And so I'm going to manifest on this pulpit for Heather. It's not, Heather's amazing, and she's sitting on a lot of talent, and she's got a lot to give and offer. So it is my prayer and hope that the universe will flow in the right way for her, and that she could actually go to Academy for Jewish Religion and get invested as a cantor. She has a very big voice, and me having been in 3,000 family congregations that have sanctuaries that hold up to 2,000 people, she should be doing that. Although we love to have her here, and she's actually said to me she would rather go get some other kind of job, like sell insurance, and volunteer for us for free. That's how devoted she is. And Jeremy, her husband, one day will be president. Problem with this is that if she becomes a cantor, then we've got an issue, because Jeremy will have to support her like Mark supports me. But you're going to have to leave him with us if you go on, because we need it. And we need you, but we are not going to stand in your way. So whatever the universe wants, maybe she'll get an education, maybe they'll let her have this be her student pulpit and be a part of her training, and she will learn all of the many things that we don't do here, but it'll be good for her. So anyway, I think that everyone, when we think about our lives and who we are and what our souls are and what our mission is and our purpose, how many have had more than one career in their lifetime? Okay? We change, we evolve, we grow. How many have had more than one partner? Things happen, as we said. Change happens, things happen. But we're meant to constantly figure out who we are and to adapt and to grow. But the interesting thing about what our purpose is in this life, and there's a book called Finding Your Purpose, and it is to figure out, I went along, Dan went along, thinking, we were going to be actors, right? It hurts my heart every time the Academy Awards come up. And, but that was not God's plan for me, at least then. Although I still keep my Screen Actors Guild and AfterCard current, because one day when you're tired of me, I hope to stand up and have them feed me my lines and do the Driving Miss Daisy type parts, the Judi Dench parts, the Helen Mirren parts. But here I am, God's mad at me. I'm here doing my part in service to the Lord, which is what we are all meant to do. And it begins with our children. And so we're blessed when we have so many children in this community. And Marianne is going to speak to us about her trip to Israel and her child. She just took that way farther than we ever thought would happen. So she's an Israeli citizen. She's married to an Israeli. And, she really loves God and Adonai and all things Judaic. So in honor of Sasha and her wedding, we did dedicate the last Shabbat to her. Passover. Did we do? We dedicated a lot of things. But the Vea Hafta. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. And I do want to be clear, Heather, as I stand up here manifesting energy, it is totally fine with all of us, and Jeremy, if you stay with us and just sing with us, work at some other job, and volunteer for free, right? We would love that. But if someone hadn't recognized what I had to offer, I would not be here right now. It took a lot of different people nudging and pushing me and saying, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And I remember at 40, I was standing in front of the ark with a rabbi in Dallas, and I said, what am I doing? I'm 40 years old. I mean, like, I'm 5 years into this, but this is insanity. And he turned to me and said, why do you think you're any different than Rabbi Akiva? He didn't start till he was 40. Why should you be any different? You know, we have many different things to offer, and we are constantly able to give. And so let us think about the ways in which we can give and manifest God's light and love in this world, because that's what will lift it up. Bottom of page 157, let us read together. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and your love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea, Michamocha. Heather will come up and lead us with that. If you want to dance, please do. Our minstrels will dance with you, except not the one with the harp. All right, so now we are going to move on. Together, let's read on the top of page 159. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles and earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, let it be so. Her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Hashkivenu, page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, O guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Amidenu Shomrenu L'chaim Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Sukkot Shlomecha Yalai, 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 la 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 la, yalai, la la la, yalai, 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 la 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 la. Ufaros Aleinu Sukkot Top of page 161, let us read. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haparei sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. So let there be peace and friendship, those friends that we have that help us through life's storms and walking with good companions. So thank you, everybody. I got to go see Terry Schneier. Hi, Terry in cyberspace. These are our congregants. Terry's in Richmond. Craig Berger and his mom, Marilyn, they are in Florida. Candy Olet is also in Florida. So it was a very quick trip. I flew on one day. I saw Craig and Marilyn another day and Candy. Then I flew and I saw Terry and then I flew and I came home. But we got to see our people. I got to keep that connection going that's so important for those that actually help to support us even when they don't live in the state, even when they have to sometimes watch on live stream, and even if they don't watch on live stream, they want to remain connected. They are our family, our companions who help shelter us from life's storms. So think about the people that you love. And my granddaughter's school, remember the year in COVID when we counted the Omer every single day? So it's very exciting. My granddaughter's Jewish academy reminds me every day to count the Omer with a little saying. So I might ask for permission for me to send that out next year, because it isn't a whole big long thing that we've done. But it's a little line of something to manifest. Maybe I'll write my own. But the reality is that one of its major themes, because it's dealing with children in a Jewish day school and their families, is friendship and the importance of kindness and being reminded every day to be kind to someone, say hello to somebody, smile with someone, say something or share something that maybe you had been holding inside that needs to be shared, that might actually uplift someone. I love it at Starbucks when it's those times of the year when you pay for the person behind you. That kind of kindness is what's going to change our world. So on this Shabbat, we sing V'shamru, and we ask that which was in the past will go away, and that the future before us will be resplendent with light, because we keep the Shabbat. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Everybody! ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. One more time. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Yasher Koach to everyone. Please rise for the Amidah on the next few pages, page 164. Pray, if only rise if you're able. Pray as if everything depended on God, but act as if everything depended on you. Adonai sefetai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezocher Hastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah, Rav Lehoshia. We now do the insert for summer. Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim, Sohomech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha V'Givurot Umido Mehalach Melech Mimit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'neman Atal HaChayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei HaMeitim Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh V'Kadashim B'chol Yom Yehalalucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. And let us read together on the top of page 171. 171. Days pass, and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. So when I was on my journey, and some of you have heard this, trying to figure out what I was going to do, I was at an Edgar Cayce past life regression retreat, which happens, I think, to be Christian. And I was in a meditation. We were meditating for like 3 days. And I was in a meditation, and before me was this stream of light and threads spinning of gold. And I heard the sound of the shofar going through one ear, through my third eye, and out the other. And I heard this voice that said, "Go home." I'm looking around, I'm like, oh no, what, am I not supposed to be here? What's happening here? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Go home. So I told my friends I was leaving, I was packing up, I was going home. So I went home, and that Friday night I was in my synagogue, which is a 3,500 family synagogue in Texas. And I was sitting there in the choir loft, which is elevated in front of like a wall that's like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 stories tall, filled with turquoise and gold brick, and they do it big in Texas. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, is this home? Is this what's happening? Is this home? And right in the sanctification, this is the sanctification. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth. This is when you say, Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, the Holy One, that lifts us up. And I knew at that moment, that was home. That was my mission. That was my purpose. That's what I was supposed to be doing. Not up there, but down there on the bima. And then devoted my life to it. And that was like in the early 90s. So we're all on a journey. And when we look at the prayer, let us read to the bottom of page 171. When you're asleep, but when you are awakened, you have no choice but stay awake and move forward. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you, please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching for me. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. And that actually just makes me want to cry. Because that's what happened. God just like literally reached out and grabbed me in my meditation and grabbed me in the service. And if that had not happened, I would not be here with you today. And so we have to be open to that. And I just want to say, our president is going to come up and share some words about her trip to Israel. I just want to say that our Torah portion is Acharei Mot. Sometimes it is a double portion with Kiddushim, which has the holiness code in it that's coming up. But as it stands alone, what it speaks about is, it starts with, you shall not eat the blood of an animal, specifically the sacrificial animal. But we are not meant to eat the blood of anything. Why? Blood is the life source, and within our blood is our soul. And it also goes on to say, and there's a lot of commentary on it, like what does this actually mean in our world today? My daughter asked me to read her drasha for this Shabbat, and I was like, I think I should just read this to my people. You know, normally I could not read it to you because they're on such a plane, you have no idea. There's always so much Hebrew, and you know, she's giving, you know, a drasha to some of the most learned, biggest scholars in Judaism on the East Coast at this time. But one thing was really interesting, because she's much more traditional than I am. Many of us in this room have been to psychics. I am not going to ask you to raise your hands. Some of us keep that to ourselves, okay? I will be honest and say, there was a time when my whole life, I wanted to know in my 20s, what's happening, what's going to happen? In my 30s, what's going to happen? And I found one amazing psychic that said a lot of things, and this is an example. She told me the name of my future husband's sister, brother, and mother. She described what he would look like. So when this person entered my life, what would happen if I'd been told, I'm going to marry this person? So 3 weeks after he met me, he asked me to marry him. I stalled him for 3 months. I married him, and it lasted 11 years. However, it brought 2 great children. Would I have married him if I didn't know that? We don't know. How many have seen the movie Sliding Doors? You should rent it. Great movie. Well, we don't have to rent it anymore. I don't know. It's probably on some station, maybe Pluto or something. But this girl's life has certain things that are going to happen in it. Either she gets on the train and things happen in the course of her life, or she misses the train. And there were certain pivotal things that were supposed to happen, like does she have a child, whatever. But aside from that, some of the superfluous details and some of the other things that are manifesting in our life, they change depending upon whether she caught this train or she didn't. So if we go to psychics and fortune tellers, and it's a very interesting thing, because it comes up a couple times in our Torah, and I always kind of cringe a little bit because I know what I've done. And I mean, that's great to, you hear the radio ads for 1-800-PSYCHIC or whatever, it's guaranteed. But Joseph, what was Joseph? He was a psychic. He was able to, think about what was happening in the future and, save people and save, Pharaoh and grain and reunite with his brothers. But we're not supposed to know the future. Do you know why? Because we are a people of the present. We are a people who remember the past, honor the past with all of our prayers. But we go to bed at night and we say the Shema, and we wake up in the morning and we say the Shema, thanking God for giving us this life back. But what do we sing on Shabbat on Saturday? Elohai Neshama. Thank you, God, for giving my soul back to me, the soul that is pure. So essentially, when we go to bed at night and we wake up, it's a new day. It's a fresh start. We don't have to wait till now, right after Passover, when we were redeemed, and this is actually our first New Year, so if you're wondering why I have so much energy, it's because of that. Or Rosh Hashanah. Every single day is a new opportunity for a fresh start. And that is why we are supposed to learn from the past, but keep our eyes looking forward, kadima, which is why we sing the Mechamocha. We knew what was behind us. We didn't know what was ahead of us, but we went forward. What if the Israelites were told by a psychic, if you follow that Moses and you listen to him, you are not getting into the promised land. You're going to go around and around and around the desert for 40 years and then not get in. You think they would have done it? No. And we wouldn't be here. So that's a big question. So you have to take it, and measure and weigh it, Can we kind of trust and have faith and hope that God will lead us and it's the magical mystery tour of our lives? Or do we want to kind of know? And those of you who've been to a psychic, have you ever been told, well, I'm telling you this, but you have, basically free will. They don't use that word. But you can, especially if something doesn't happen, you can change the course by the decisions that you make. So even though I have been told to marry this person that I would see, what if I hadn't married him? I have that choice, and then the course is altered. So don't eat the blood of sacrificial animals. Think about when you order your meat extremely rare and the blood is pouring out. You might want to order it well done, like myself. And think about, what does it mean when you want to know the future? And what control do we have over it? And I'm not saying don't go, because I've been there myself. And sometimes there are days when I have to keep myself from not calling 1-800-PSYCHIC or looking up some of the great ones that I know. What's going to happen to Emet? Are we going to be okay? Are we going to have lots of money? Whatever. There's always things. Turn it over to God on a platter. As I said in High Holy Days many times, let go, let God, have faith. Go forward, Kadima, to the future. That being said, Marianne's going to come forward and speak to us about Sasha, who went forward to her destiny because she heard the call. And Marianne, much as she did not want to go forward to Israel in the state of the way things have been, she did for the love of her daughter and as the great Jew that she is. And we're so glad. You're so glad. Let's all tell her, glad you're back safe. Yes. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm so glad to see you. Okay, Rabbi, you made me do this by your sermon, as you always do. Yesterday's history, tomorrow mystery, today is the gift.
Oh, I like that. Well, let someone write that down.
You ever heard that?
Yeah.
Oh, you must have heard. Anyway, you just got that to my mind. So Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
I'm
Shalom.
so glad to see everybody. I thought of all of you while I was in Israel, and I missed you. I'm just going to be brief. This is going to be very banal. Usually I would have not agreed to do this, but Rabbi asked me, and I thought it was very important to speak about Israel. I know you all have personal histories with Israel. You've probably all been there. You know a lot about it. I'm just going to speak from my heart about what I saw. I was there 8 days ago with my own eyes and experience. I'll start from the beginning. We left on the 15th. On the 13th and the 14th, Iran attacked Israel in the unprecedented attack. So all flights were canceled from El Al, and I thought, there's no way this can possibly happen. So, Rabbi was talking about angels, and Diana talks about angels. I got up at 6 in the morning, I checked the flight, all flights are on schedule. So we went to the airport, we took our bags, we got there. Everything went beautifully at the airport. The flight was beautiful. When we arrived in Tel Aviv was beautiful, it was calm. There were people, you could tell though there was concern on their face, but they were just going about their lives. I did not see a lot of Israelis traveling back and forth to Israel. It's more people like myself. I was going for my daughter's wedding. Originally I was gonna go in November, but the war started October 7th, so they immediately closed the venue, and her wedding venue was closed for the winter, so April 19th was the first available day for their wedding. So we arrived, we got ourselves together, we took direction, we got where we were supposed to be. So her wedding was on a kibbutz on April 19th. We arrived there at 4:30 in the morning because the wedding was at 11 a.m., it was a Friday. And a lot of people observed Shabbat, so they got places nearby, and they wanted to be able to get home before sundown. So the wedding went from, say, about 11 to 6:30. It was a very long, joyous Israeli wedding. So we first got there at 4:30. It is a beautiful kibbutz. Everything was locked. There was no one there. It was like a jungle, and she's guiding me. I said, Sasha, I'm in Israel. I just got here, it's 4:30 in the morning, I don't know where I am, everything's locked, what's happening here? So finally, all these beautiful young people showed up, started to unlock things, started to work, and started to take care of the wedding preparations. A lot of them were from the US, and they went there to get military training. And come about 6 o'clock in the morning, there was somebody setting up the wedding, taking care of the bride and groom, making sure they ate and they drank, doing the makeup, the hair, greeting the guests. So it was a beautiful day. There was dancing. Oren, my new son-in-law, was raised on a moshav. So his whole moshav community came to the wedding. And it was just a blessed beginning of a Jewish couple. So I was so happy, and we were so proud. So she ended up, my daughter is truly married twice to the same man in a short amount of time. So that part is done. Then it was our Seder, my new son-in-law and his family are native Israelis. His grandmother, Layla, who's a very beautiful lady, was 12 years old with the land of Israel. She's going to be 88 years old this year. Oren, his sisters, his brother, all raised as Israelis. They all served in the military, and they don't know any other life but Israel. So I spent the next 10 days with them, living in the life that they live in Israel, which I found joyous. Little children everywhere laughing with their yarmulkes on, pets, happy dogs, cats everywhere. I was thinking, my gosh, how do you talk to your child in Israel? You know, your little, but they were all running. We were at the beach, and the beach was beautiful. It was crowded. There was babies everywhere. People bringing their like 2-week-old babies to dinner. But the one theme in Israel are the hostages. There are pictures of the hostages everywhere. Everybody set a place at their Seder table for the hostages with yellow ribbons and yellow flowers and yellow shirts, and yellow is a big color everywhere you turn. That's pretty much on the Israelis' mind, are the hostages and their return. Not so much what's going on here, what's going on in their lives, but they're focused on these people that are still alive to come home. And I went to the Israeli Philharmonic concert, and they would not let the orchestra leave. I was wondering, you know, how are we going to have this big crowd? And we did, and there was a big crowd there, and they were all cheering the musicians and had a wonderful time. The food was great. The coffee was great. I just have to say, it was like a perfect trip. It's almost like maybe the Lord wanted these two Jewish people to go ahead and get started on their life. So that's basically how the trip went. Then we landed, and that was great. And I'm just gonna kind of end this because, you know, she did have her wedding. We had our Seder. It was 4:30 in the morning there when you were having your Seder, and I was thinking about all of you. I didn't have real good communication because their GPS is a little messed up there. They'll give you a GPS and it'll take you to a vicinity, but then cut you off. And as soon as the war started, I had a little tracker on Sasha where I could see where she was all over Haifa. And that ended after October 7th. So now I have no location. She's just somewhere in North Africa on my phone right now. So that part happened. That's just a little bit different. And they're just moving forward. They're moving forward. I feel hopeful. I mean, when I heard Stacy and Heather singing the Shema so beautifully, I felt such energy and such life in the Jewish people that no matter what happens, we're going to go on. There's a baby yet to be born. There's babies everywhere. There's music everywhere. But I'm just going to end with what Layla said to me. Layla is Sasha's new grandma because, you know, Oren's family, that's the grandma, and they just love her. She's very active. She has the sharpest mind. And what she said to me before we left on the plane, she said, you know, she speaks broken English, but she said, you know, she enjoyed meeting us and it was good to see her. And what she said was, let's not uproot what we planted because we have so far to go. She said, right now in Israel, we have to love the sting because we love the honey. And she said, the only thing we're going to do right now, and she said the only thing that was helping her was music, art, and turning to the Kabbalistic side of the Torah. And then we got on our plane and we left. And here I am now. So thank you for listening. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We have a lot of work to do. Now, since I'm here, you want me to do the announcements?
Sure,
you want to
sure,
just
you
wait?
can. But before we do that, let me just say something.
Okay.
Everyone knows that I'm more Kabbalistic than anything. And so I was going to announce that I know I've been talking about the prayer class. So there will be 3 dates in May, because we're supposed to study between Passover and Shavuot, where I will take some of the prayers and give you the Kabbalistic perspective on that. So it's very fortuitous that you said that. I called Marianne right before she left. I called her, you know, when she came back. And we were thinking of you at the Seder. You were feeling it. We did dedicate it to all of you. But that is the one thing about Israel. You know, we've been to Israel as a community several times. Israelis don't give up. And it's a very poignant thing. You know, they have to love the sting to enjoy the honey. It is a land flowing with milk and honey. That is what we have. That is our promise. That is our gift. But they deal with that every single day of their lives, what it means to be in a state of war, what it means to be possibly threatened at every single moment. And many of you know that my daughter was building a bomb shelter in Netanya, and as soon as they finished, literally within moments, they all had to run in the bomb shelter.
2 things I forgot to say. Temple Emet is the reason my daughter's in Israel and I have traveled to Israel. So you were ruining not having a preschool, but the preschool you did have and what you taught your religious school had an over effect on my daughter. Because now she's an Israeli citizen, she has a driver's license, and she's working now at Rambam Hospital as some kind of a research assistant. She got her master's at Haifa University. She's very rooted and she's an Israeli citizen. So that's where she's going to be making her life.
And Grandma's going to make sure of it.
Not in Torrance.
I think Layla was telling you, don't uproot what's planted, even though we did marry her here, secularly. But no, we just wish them love and light and blessing, and you as well. And hopefully, as we manifest, maybe our next trip to Yerushalayim will be with you guys.
Okay.
And we can go see Sasha.
I'm starting to know my way around. So.
I bet. Okay, so tell us the announcements.
Okay, I'm going to give the announcements now so then we can go on and remember our loved ones and then go to dinner.
Yes,
okay.
And have a margarita.
Yes. Okay, now Rabbi Didi, I need clarification on this. After this service, we're going to go to Alfredo's. There's 2 Alfredo's?
Yeah, we're not going to the
that.
one around the corner. We're going over to Pennsylvania, down to PCH, on the corner of Pennsylvania PCH, and there will be parking.
I'm
there.
glad I did that because I would have gone to the wrong one. Okay, so Tuesday, May 7th, you're seeing The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling?
Yes,
Is
we
that
are.
still happening?
Yes, and in the morning at 7:30, you and I and Jeremy and Heather and Sue will be at the Mayor's International Prayer Breakfast,
yes,
and
yes.
I will be closing the program.
Yes, that's going to be great.
Long day.
Okay, so today, Alfredo's on Pennsylvania and PCH, May 7th, The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, AMC Rolling Hills, 5:15 p.m. And you can buy your tickets in row F. That's where at Temple Emet sits, unless you're with my husband who likes to sit way up there for some weird reason. Okay, and then the Tap Society Brews and Bites at 4 o'clock
Yes.
prior to the movie.
Prior to the movie, and that's right next to Fishbones.
Right next to Fishbones. Okay. Then we're having second Saturday, Shabbat, 10:30, followed by lunch. And do we decide where that's going to be yet? At
We're going to
lunch?
do it at Brews Hall for
Brews Hall.
for
Brews
Hilda.
Hall.
But prior to that, Thursday the 9th, Culinary Club, which everyone is a member of the Culinary Club. Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel Independence Day, is the following week. And in honor of that, we're shifting our location we had said we were going to go to the Long Beach Museum and have lunch. But the art exhibit that they're going to have is going to be better at the end of the month. So on the 9th, in honor of Israel's independence, and we'll all say a prayer before we eat for Israel's true independence, once again, we will go to Tel Aviv, which is a fabulous Mediterranean restaurant in Encino. Hilda, mark it down. I know you guys wanted to go to Tel Aviv, possibly. And then on the 30th, because I don't know if you have those, we've been doing a lot while you've been gone.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
Okay.
I'll remember that at the end.
You
So
have it.
yes, Tel Aviv on May 9th, Culinary Club. And be here at 11 o'clock if you want to carpool.
Yes, and let Jeremy know if you need a ride.
That sounds great. Tel Aviv and Encino, May 9th. Okay, then May 11th will be our service, and May 15th, the lunch bunch, and at Good Stuff. Lunch bunch at 1 p.m., Good Stuff. Then we have our third Friday catered dinner on May 17th, South Bay Caterers. Then on May 30th will be the Culinary Club going to Claire's Restaurant and the museum, the Long Beach Museum of Art. I guess that was rescheduled because there's a new exhibit that everybody wants to see. So that will be May 30th. Then the annual gala is June 8th, and that's going to be at the New Horizons Community or Clubhouse.
Yes, and if you're not sure, talk to Kathy Cohen back there.
Okay.
She can, or Fran, they have lots of information.
Okay, that's not far. And most important, you'll watch your mail and your email. We have our meeting, our congregational meeting coming up on June 15th, on Tuesday. It's usually on a Thursday, but now it's on Tuesday because we have new tenants that use the building on Thursday. So at that time, we will discuss where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. And so that will be June 18th, and there'll be a letter coming out. And so there's so much going on. Possibly July 13th, we'll have a concert. Then I know Diana and Lynn are going to sponsor Ruslan, our cellist, in August, and to celebrate Diana's 87th birthday. And we're all going to party till we drop on that day. And a lot coming up. But why don't we just focus on that congregational meeting for now and bring all your ideas. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Yasher Koach. We're so glad you're back safe. And we're so proud of our girl over there. I know. Well, now we're going to do the Misha Barak prayer. I believe it's on page 371. If you have someone that you want to send a prayer of healing to, of course, we want to send that to all the hostages and everyone that's suffering around the world, and those in our communities and in our lives that are in need of a boost of body and spirit. Middle of page 371. See them in your mind's eye. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say V'kor havracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And now we're going to close our service with the Alenu on page 586 at the bottom. If you're new, we see some new people here. Please come over to the table when we have Kiddush and Motzi and introduce yourselves to us. And we're thrilled that you're here with us, so welcome, welcome. So please rise if you're able, 586 at the bottom, Alenu. Alenu l'shaveach l'adon hakol, l'teit v'la l'yotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu keduyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chokenu kalhem, v'gor alenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, l'fnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'moshev yakaro v'shamayim ima'al, v'shechinah uzo, egov hei meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, emet malkeinu efes ulato, kakatu betorato, v'yadata hayom v'hashevota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, v'shamayim mima'al, ve'al haaretz, mitachat einod, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, v'yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Please be seated. And now, if you'll turn to 598 for the mourner's Kaddish, if you have someone that has passed in the last 7 days, would you please rise and say your loved one's name? The last 7 days.
Gregory Clifton.
Sorry. And the last 30 days, if you've lost someone in the last 30 days. The last 11 months, would you please rise and say your loved one's name? Go ahead.
My uncle Kent Lineback.
If anyone's observing the art site, the anniversary of a loved one's death, Diana. Joy. Bob. Anybody else? Go ahead. Anybody else? John Flood, together as we rise, together if you're able to, for the Kaddish on page 598. Yikra v'yikra shnei rabba, ve'elma divrach yirutei ve'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv imru, yehei shnei rabba mevarach le'elam lomei amaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yit hadar v'yit halev v'yit halal shemei l'kudashah b'reichu, le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran ve'elama v'imru, yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru, Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael b'meru, amen. Okay, so someone's got someone from the heavenly realm calling them, or in the regular realm that we are in right now. So as you're all still standing, let's bless one another with the Birkat Kohanim. I do think they might have a few spots if you want to come to the prayer breakfast. I know it is a terrible hour. Breakfast is served from 7 to 7:30. The program is at 7:30. I will be doing the Birkat Kohanim to close out the entire annual day of prayer. And then, to be very ecumenical, I'm singing Amazing Grace. So if you'd like to get up at the crack of dawn and come join us, please let me know. May God bless you and keep you. May God's countenance shine upon you and be with you always and grant you peace. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. King Yiratzon, may it be God's will. Let's do Oseh Shalom in honor of Israel, a prayer for peace. And I want you to know I was at the planning meeting for the prayer breakfast, and our new mayor of Torrance says, Rabbi, can you just please, we're going to have a big screen. Can you put the Hebrew up there so that we all can do it? He goes, I like when you give, those things. I said, you mean the song sheets in Hanukkah? And he said, yes. And I said, you're actually getting so good at being a Jew. And he's very Christian. I said, you're actually so good at being a Jew that I pretty soon you can do Hanukkah by yourself, because he did such a great job. He's so interested in everything the Hebrew. So anyway, Oseh Shalom, may there be peace in Yerushalayim. Thank you to all of our fabulous musicians. Thank you to Jeremy and Heather. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Mark and Brian. Thank you to God. And let us all go forward and do blessings. Oseh Shalom. And you can sing as you're going. Oseh Shalom, Bimrova. Let us go. Oseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Everybody, come on. Come on. We have dinner to get to. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, 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 Leinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Shalom, Jews, Shalom, Jews, ve'al kol Yisrael. Jews, Jews, woo, Jews. You got throat. Come on over.